Puntland, officially the Puntland State of Somalia, is a region in northeastern Somalia, centered on Garoowe in the Nugal province. Its leaders declared the territory an autonomous state in 1998. Puntland is bordered by the self-declared Republic of Somaliland to its west, the Gulf of Aden in the north, the Indian Ocean in the southeast, the central Galmudug region in the south, and Ethiopia in the southwest. A third of Somalia's population lives in the territory, which contains about a third of the nation's geographical area. Unlike the neighboring self-declared Republic of Somaliland, Puntland, as with all other regions in the country, does not seek outright independence from Somalia. The name Puntland is derived from the land of Punt mentioned by ancient Egyptian sources. The exact location of the fabled territory is still a mystery. Many studies suggest that the land of Punt was located in present-day Somalia, whereas others propose that it was situated elsewhere. History. Northern Sultanates. The War-Sangali Sultanate was an imperial ruling house centered in northeastern and in some parts of southeastern Somalia. It was one of the largest sultanates ever established in the territory, and, at the height of its power, included the Sinag region and parts of the northeastern Bari region of the country, an area historically known as Markir or the Markir Coast. The Sultanate was founded in the late 13th century in northern Somalia by a group of Somalis from the War-Sangali branch of the Dowlad clan, and was ruled by the descendants of the Jaraddin. The Majeerteen Sultanate was founded in the mid-18th century. It rose to prominence the following century, under the reign of the resourceful Bokhor Osman Mahamud. Centered in Aluyila, it controlled much of northern and central Somalia in the 19th and early 20th centuries. The polity maintained a robust trading network, entered into treaties with foreign powers, and exerted strong centralized authority on the domestic front. The Majeerteen Sultanate was nearly destroyed in the mid-1800s by a power struggle between Bokhor Osman and his ambitious cousin, Yusuf Ali Kenadid. After almost 5 years of battle, the young upstart was finally forced into exile in Yemen. A decade later, in the 1870s, Kenadid returned from the Arabian Peninsula with a band of Hadrami musketeers and a group of devoted lieutenants. With their assistance, he managed to overpower the local Hawiyu clans and established the Sultanate of Hobyo in 1878. In late 1889, Bokhor Osman entered into a treaty with Italy, making his realm an Italian protectorate. His rival Sultan Kenadid had signed a similar agreement vis-a-vis his own sultanate the year before. Both rulers had signed the protectorate treaties to advance their own expansionist objectives, with Bokhor Osman looking to use Italy's support in his ongoing power struggle with Kenadid over the Majeerteen Sultanate. Bokhor Osman and Sultan Kenadid also hoped to exploit the conflicting interests among the European imperial powers that were then looking to control the Somali peninsula, so as to avoid direct occupation of their territories by force. With the gradual extension into northern Somalia of European colonial rule, all three sultanates were annexed to Italian Somaliland and British Somaliland in the early 20th century. Much of the northern sultanate's former domain is today coextensive with the autonomous Puntland region in northeastern Somalia. Establishment. Following the outbreak of the Somali Civil War in 1991, a homegrown constitutional conference was held in Garoowe in 1998 over a period of 3 months. Attended by the area's political elite, traditional elders, members of the business community, intellectuals and other civil society representatives, the autonomous Puntland State of Somalia was established to deliver services to the population, offer security, facilitate trade, and interact with domestic and international partners. As stipulated in Article 1 of the Transitional Federal Charter of the Somali Republic, Puntland is a part of the federal state of Somalia. As such, the region seeks the unity of the Somalis and adheres to a federal system of government. Unlike the secessionist region of Somaliland to its west, Puntland is not trying to obtain international recognition as a separate nation. However, both regions have one thing in common. They base their support upon clan elders and their organizational structure along lines based on clan relationships and kinship. Since 1998, Puntland has also been in territorial disputes with Somaliland over the Sul and Sanag regions. The legal structure of Puntland consists of the judiciary, legislative and the executive branches of government. Though relatively peaceful, the region briefly experienced political unrest in 2001 when then-president of Puntland, Abdullahi Yusuf Ahmed, one of the founding fathers of the Puntland state and its first president, wanted his term extended. Ahmed and Jamar Ali Jamar fought for control of the region, with Ahmed emerging victorious the following year. Ahmed served his second term as president until October 2004, when he was elected president of Somalia. He was succeeded in office by Mohamed Hashi, who served until January 2005 when he lost a re-election bid in parliament to General Mohamed Muse Hersher Adda. Politics. Muse administration. In March 2005, then-incumbent President Muse began an ambitious plan to build an airport in Puntland's commercial capital of Bosaso, a project which is now complete and referred to as Bender Qasim International Airport. In April 2007, Muse held meetings with Sheikh Saad bin Saqr al-Kashimi, the Crown Prince and Deputy Ruler of Ras Al Kharima in the United Arab Emirates, where the two leaders signed an agreement on a deal for setting up of a dedicated livestock quarantine facility to facilitate the import of livestock from Somalia to the UAE. In October 2008, Muse also signed a $170 million agreement with Dubai's Lutar Group to support the construction of an airport, seaport and free zone in the coastal city of Bosaso. Muse indicated that, "I believe that when we finish all these projects our people will benefit by getting good health services, education and overall prosperity." Parole Administration. In January 2009, Abdurrahman Farole was elected the new president of Puntland. Upon assuming office, the Parole Administration implemented a number of reforms, particularly in the security and judicial sectors, to bolster the region's justice system. Numerous new prosecutors, judges and other court personnel as well as additional prison guards were hired and trained. In July 2010, the Puntland Council of Ministers unanimously approved a new anti-terrorism law to more efficiently handle terror suspects and their accomplices. A special court is also expected to be established within the region's existing criminal court system to facilitate the task. Fiscally, a transparent, budget-based public finance system was established which has reportedly helped increase public confidence in government. In addition, a new regional constitution was drafted and later passed on 15 June 2009, which is believed to represent a significant step towards the eventual introduction of a multi-party political system to the region for the first time. Such a system already exists in the adjacent Somaliland region. More modest reforms were also put into motion in the social sector, particularly in the education and healthcare fields. The regional government has hired more healthcare workers and teachers, with major plans underway for school and hospital renovations. One of the most significant new reforms enacted by the incumbent Puntland administration is the launching in May 2009 of the Puntland Agency for Social Welfare, the first organization of its kind in Somali history. The agency provides medical, educational and counseling support to vulnerable groups and individuals such as orphans, the disabled and the blind. PASWE is overseen by a board of directors, which consists of religious scholars, business people, intellectuals and traditional elders. Democratization process. On 15 June 2009, the Puntland government passed a new regional draft constitution, representing a significant step towards the eventual introduction of a multi-party political system to the region for the first time. On 15 April 2012, the Puntland government opened a four-day constitutional convention officially inaugurating the new constitution of Puntland, overseen by the Puntland Electoral Commission. The constitution represented the final step in the extant regional democratization process and was scheduled to be followed by the formation of political parties. On 12 September 2012, the Puntland Electoral Commission announced that the registration process for political parties in Puntland was now open. This came after the passing of the Political Association Law, the Referendum Act, the District Elections Law and the inauguration of the state constitution. There will also be challenges in the next elections, scheduled for January 2014. On 14 November 2012, President Parole announced the launching of his new political party, Horseed. The association counts over 200 members and represents the incumbent Puntland government, including Vice President Abdisamad Ali Shire and the state ministers. It is the first prospective party to register for an application with the Transitional Puntland Electoral Commission. According to Parole, the general public will be eligible for membership in the organization once it is selected as an official political party. 5 other political associations were established the following month, including the Union of the People of the Regions or UPR, the Development and Justice Party or DJP, Midnimo, Talawadag, and Gahayr or Golaharakuntarai Horama Intariaso Aska Yoka Runtur. Ali administration. On 8 January 2014. Former Prime Minister of Somalia Abdi Weli Muhammad Ali was elected the 5th President of Puntland during the state's 2014 elections. Abdi Hakim Abdullahi Haji Omar was concurrently voted Puntland Vice President. Speakers of the Puntland Parliament state flag. On the 22nd of December 2009, Puntland MPs introduced a new state flag at a parliamentary session in Garoowe, with 38 of 41 legislators endorsing the motion. It also permitted the creation of a new state anthem. Puntland's new regional flag consists of 3 colors: white, blue and green. Top. The blue stripe with the white star in the center symbolizes the flag of Somalia. Center. The white stripe in the center represents peace and stability in the region. Bottom. The green stripe symbolizes the natural wealth of the Puntland State of Somalia. Administrative divisions. Regions as stipulated in Article 3 of the Transitional Federal Charter of the Somali Republic. Puntland consists of the following regions. Redistricting and border disputes. In January 2009, Markir was officially incorporated into Puntland. Control of the Western Sul, Sarnag and Kane provinces is disputed with the autonomous Khartoum State and Somaliland regions of Somalia. On 8 April 2013, the Puntland government announced the creation of a new region named Gardafuul. Carved out of the Bari region, it consists of 3 districts and has its capital at Aluyula. Prior to naming this new region, the previous government of Puntland created 3 regions, all carved out of the existing regions. Karkar was carved out of Bari, Haylan out of Sarnag, and Ain out of Togta region. Largest cities. Geography. Puntland is geographically situated in the northeastern portion of Somalia. It is bordered by the Somaliland region of Somalia to its west, the Gulf of Aden in the north, the Indian Ocean in the southeast, the central Galmudug region of Somalia in the south, and Ethiopia in the southwest. Puntland occupies a total land area of 80,000 square kilometers or roughly 1/3 of Somalia's geographical area. Climate. The region is semi-arid, with a warm climate and average daily temperatures ranging from 27 degrees Celsius to 37 degrees Celsius. These climatic conditions favor pastoralism as the most effective use of land in most parts of the region. The most valuable grazing land includes the Horde region in the high plateau to the west of the Mudug and Sul regions of Somalia, and into Ethiopia and the low Nugal Valley. Mild temperatures, by contrast, are experienced only along the high mountain ranges of Barry. In all other areas, Puntland is generally characterized by tropical desert heat. Rainfall is sparse and variable, with no single area receiving more than 400 mm of rain annually. Nomads primarily rely on wells as a source of water rather than surface water. There are 4 main seasons around which pastoral and agricultural life revolve, and these are dictated by shifts in the wind patterns. Puntland's seasons are Dowlad, from January to March, the harshest dry season of the year. Garoowe, from April to June, the main rainy season. Xagaa, from July to September, the second dry season. Dowlad, from October to December, the shorter and less reliable rainy season. Education. Following the outbreak of the civil war in Somalia, numerous problems arose with regard to access to education in rural areas and along gender lines. Quality of educational provisions, responsiveness of school curricula, educational standards and controls, management and planning capacity, and financing. To address these concerns, the Puntland government is in the process of developing an educational policy to guide the region's scholastic process as it embarks on the path of reconstruction and economic development. The latter includes a gender-sensitive national education policy compliant with world standards, such as those outlined in the Convention on the Rights of the Child and the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. Examples of this and other educational measures at work are the government's enactment of legislation aimed at securing the educational interests of girls, promoting the growth of an early childhood development program designed to reach parents and caregivers in their homes, as well as in the ECD centers for 0 to 5-year-old children, and introducing incentive packages to encourage teachers to work in remote rural areas. Within the Puntland government, the Ministry of Education is responsible for developing and managing the region's educational needs. It is headed by the Minister Mohammed Baldubba, under whom a Vice Minister and Director General help oversee a post-primary education division and a basic education directorate, among other boards. The educational system of Puntland comprises 2 years of early childhood development, 8 years of primary education and 4 years of secondary education. Tertiary education comprises an average of 4 years, with the region currently counting 7 major universities. Puntland State University in Garoowe, Puntland State University in Galkayo, Bosaso College in Bosaso, East Somalia University in Garoowe, Mogadishu University in Bosaso, Markia University in Badaan, Sarnag, and Nugal University in Lasanad. East Africa University also has 6 branches in Puntland, with campuses in Bosaso, Erigavo, Galdoga, Galkayo, Garoowe and Garoowe. Thus, it is a 2-4-4-4 system. Puntland's Ministry of Education also recognizes non-formal education and technical, vocational education and training as integral parts of the region's educational system. From 2005-2006 to 2006-2007, there was a significant increase in the number of schools in Puntland, up 137 institutions from just 1 year prior. During the same period, the number of classes in the region increased by 504, with 762 more teachers also offering their services. Total student enrollment increased by 27% over the previous year, with girls lagging only slightly behind boys in attendance in most regions. The highest class enrollment was observed in the northernmost Barry region, and the lowest was observed in the underpopulated Ain region. The distribution of classrooms was almost evenly split between urban and rural areas, with marginally more pupils attending and instructors teaching classes in urban areas. Demographics and religion. As of 2006, the population of Puntland is estimated at 0.9 million residents, 52% of whom are nomads. The region is primarily inhabited by people from the Somali ethnic group, with the Hati Dowlad especially well represented. There are also a number of Meri residents. Puntland's population growth rate is quite high due in part to an influx of people from southern Somalia and from neighboring Northeast African countries. Currently, 30% of the region's residents live in the fast-growing towns of Bosaso, Garoowe, Garoowe and Galkayo. Approximately 70% of the population is also below the age of 30. The population density in Puntland is estimated at about 18 persons per square kilometre. As with the rest of Somalia, Islam is the main religion of the Puntland region. With few exceptions, all residents of Puntland are Muslims.